by Riverside FM.
In this week's episode, we're cracking open the unique, weird, and wonderful culture of cryptid conventions and why these gatherings are the beating heart of the community. Plus, we're gearing up for the massive Hocking Hills Bigfoot Festival that is happening August 14th and 15th in Ohio. From howling contests and Bigfoot beard competitions to late night field reports, we're breaking down what makes this event a must attend. Tonight on Newsworthy, 2 words and 2 question marks.
I'm Steve, and I've not seen a conspiracy that I don't like.
I'm Jerry, the analytical skeptic of the group that says, show me the proof.
I'm Brett. I'm the mediator between the two elders and usually cast the deciding vote.
We weren't just looking for a house. We wanted our forever home.
That's when we called Ed Lockett, USA Mortgage. He helped us see the bigger picture.
Ed showed us how the right loan could fit our family's future, not just today's needs.
And he made sure every detail was clear, so we felt confident planting roots.
Hi, I'm Ed Locke with USA Mortgage. Let's find the loan that makes your forever home possible. Call me today at 502-680-0953.
We're here.
We are.
So I'm glad today, if you followed this show for a long time, today is kind of a throwback show. It's a little bit like we used to do back in the day.
Back in the day, huh?
Back in the day, we can say that now because we're long in the tooth, as they say in the podcasting world.
Hard to believe, isn't it?
It is. It is. It is. I was talking to a person. I don't know how much I can say about what I've been doing the last couple of days. As it gets closer, I probably could talk about it a little more. But in talking with a certain person, we were talking about the show and how it's grown and changed and tweaked and try to get better and what we like and what we don't like. And ultimately, when it just comes down to putting out a product that we like, and that's what makes us happy, and that's what we should do. And today's kind of a throwback to that a little bit, I think.
There you go.
What do you think?
I agree.
Jerry?
Basically, what happened, let's give them a little
Sure.
backstory. We had a guest scheduled, and we were going to be covering a book from this author, and it was an alien,
Yeah.
in the alien genre, and there was a scheduling conflict, and we had to reschedule. And with us being us, we were not prepared. We did not have material for another show, so we were like at the last second, literally, what can we do a show on? And we decided to, as you were just saying, go back to our roots and to talk about something that once we made the switch, to digress for a second, away from news into the mysterious, macabre, out of this world, one of the biggest things that we have covered is cryptids. We have been to several cryptid events in different states. We absolutely love that. And so tonight we're going to be talking about those cryptid events. We're going to be talking about several that we've been to. Specifically, we're also going to be narrowing in on the Hocking Hills Bigfoot Festival that we've got coming up in a few weeks. I think it is, August 14th and 15th of this year.
Yep.
In Hocking Hills, Ohio. And yeah, so it absolutely is, as you were saying, going back to our roots, and that's why we were...
A lot of ad lib tonight, just so you know. We're just going to be
Not
blunt.
a lot, 100%. 100% ad lib. Completely, absolutely. Yeah.
It's a lot of ad lib tonight. That's okay. You know, Jerry is very much a talker. Jerry, I heard a huge compliment on you today, by the way. Not today, yesterday. One of the people I've been working with the last couple of days went back and listened to several of our podcasts, and just to get a feel for me a little bit in particular, but in doing so, garnered that from the show. And man, he was like, that Jerry guy, he's got a butter smooth voice. I'm like, yeah, it sure doesn't match his face, but his voice is certainly made for this gig.
We settled that a long time ago. Huh? What's the saying that we come up with? I have a face for radio. I have a voice for newsprint.
Yeah. Well, everyone disagrees with you. They love your
Well,
voice.
they are wrong.
Just wanted to pass that compliment along with you. Yeah.
So, do you remember the very first event that we went to?
I do.
When and where?
Hocking Hills.
Yes,
it was our very first event we got accepted to. We had no clue what we was doing.
None.
I think 2 weeks before we realized we needed a tent or a gazebo or whatever those things are called.
Yep.
And
We were not prepared at all.
at all. We used a table that I use in my shed to hold tools and to work on. So it was terrible and half broke down. And we had old chairs. We didn't have good chairs then. No way to carry all this stuff. And it had it not been for Easton Hawk on one side of
Exactly
us,
what I was
kind
thinking.
of putting us under his wing a little bit, that would have been a complete disaster.
Literally and figuratively.
Yeah.
Figuratively because he helped us with so many things
Yeah.
of how the events work. Figuratively because the second day, I think,
The big
we
storm.
had the huge storm. He literally walked away from his tent, came over, helped us hold down our tent. It was about to blow away.
It was. And
So-
I also want to bring out that that was actually in Logan, right downtown.
Right.
And the the Shamrock
Yep.
Bar and Grill was the second part of that just saved our bacon on that.
100%.
Because we had no idea that our phone service was going to be so terrible there because there were so many people using it.
Yeah. It
And
just
their Wi-Fi saved our butt on what
completely.
because at the time we had software that would not record unless it was connected.
Yes, it required the internet
Yeah.
connection. So if it had not been for the Shamrock Bar and Grill, which by the way, I think you still say
Best
that you had
burger
one of the
I've
best
ever
hamburger. Yes.
ever eaten.
Love the food. Fantastic people. Do you remember the
Yep.
owner's name?
Chan?
Chan.
Chan.
Okay, Shan.
Chan.
Fantastic guy. The bartender at the time that was
She
so
was
friendly
wonderful.
to us was wonderful. I don't think she's with them now, but wonderful food, wonderful people. Cannot say enough about them. Yeah. And it's obviously, if you can't guess, we had a wonderful time there from the people, the other vendors, the people in the community. We've also had something similar at every event that we've been
Every
to.
single event.
An outstanding community that has been so helpful. Just can't say enough about the community in general. We absolutely love, I think I speak for you as well, going to these events. So much fun. It absolutely is.
Now, it's a little disappointing because there's some events that are so big and so popular and their space is so limited, it's really hard to get in. Two of the events we've been trying to get into since we've started doing this is the Frogman Convention in Loveland, Ohio, and the big one, the Mothman in Point Pleasant. And those are so limited on space, and I understand. I get it. We're going to keep applying, and at some point they're going to say, come on, we got a spot for you. But the ones we have been, I can think at every festival we've been at least one set of vendors or one vendor in particular that reached out or was gracious or great and we go a long way to try to support them too. We take
do.
money to spend. We're not just going up there to talk to people. There's this, and forgive me, but I will, on the next show, I will have their name. I always forget to bring their card up here. They're the game creators.
Yep.
They've been at a couple. wonderful. They created these games, and you can go to the conventions. I think you can probably buy the games anywhere now. They're mass produced, but freaking phenomenal. Wonderful folk. Wonderful, great folk.
They are. And you love the games.
I do. We played them very well. I mean, we like board games anyway here. Big nerd. Woo, who'd have thought? But very fun games. Easton, again, was amazing.
Do you remember
some
the
of
Red River? I'm sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
No, I was just going to some of the artists we ran into and talked to. What was you going to say?
At the Red River Gorge Festival, the people next to us, the couple from Somerset that had the little young child,
Oh, yeah.
they're just vendors that sells, cryptid related merchandise, T-shirts and whatnots and all that. The same type of merchandise you see it all over these festivals, but such nice people. And we love their story. Their story was the young couple in their late 20s, early mid 30s.
They weren't older.
And they've got a
sure.
10, 12-year-old son. And he was the one that got them into all this because he was into Bigfoot. So them trying to get him exposed and taking him to some of the festivals that he wanted to go to. And they, I think, finally decided, if we want to take the next step, how about we become vendors? And that's where they got started on this journey. And they've been going to these events for 2 or 3 years. But really nice people that we meet. And you're right, it's every event that we go to, we seem to meet more and more. Such a welcoming community.
Yeah. And, there has to be an absolute ton of work that goes into organizing and
The
creating
events,
these
yes.
events themselves. We did. We dipped our toe into it, I guess,
A little bit.
early June in trying to figure out here locally.
First of all, not we, you. You're being extremely nice. You did all of it.
We had an evening with Bigfoot here in Anderson
In
County.
Lawrenceburg, yes.
It was well received, I thought. Way more people showed up than I ever would have
Absolutely.
imagined for 3 weeks worth of advertising. It wasn't very much. It was a fun time. Jeff Walridge from Sons of Appalachia was with us.
I
He's
did a
local.
fantastic job
He was
as
the
the main
keynote
speaker.
speaker.
Yes.
Yeah, it was. We had a school, Dayton, Kentucky high school came down. They have a paranormal club. They came down and hung out with us. That's like a 2.5 hour ride for them. So that was awesome. Got to meet those guys and hopefully touch them let me digress, not touch them, but touch them emotionally and trigger something in them that, makes them want to continue. One of the things I want to get into, I love the festivals, but I want to get into the reason we do the festivals, because to me, that's where the stories are. And that's what's important. What is, Jerry, if I may, what is your favorite interview, your favorite story that you did in all the festivals that we had? I have two that
I'm
stick
gonna
in
cheat.
my head.
And
Yeah.
I'm probably going to steal one of yours
That's okay.
because it's not one that I did. It's one you did. It's the little old lady that walked past
yeah.
us and came back. And I think at the first or second trip, the first time
The first time she walked past, I noticed her. She stopped. She read the sign. She kind of waited around. You were talking to some other folks,
Okay.
and I was doing an interview. That was the show. It was our first one.
Yep.
And we
At Hawk and
had
Hill.
so many interviews.
we did.
The second time, you were interviewing somebody, and I was talking to a whole group of people, but I saw her out of the corner of my eye. She came by, and she stopped, and she waited. She was patient. And then the third time I was free, and I caught her. The third time, I mean, this was a downtown area. She specifically, if you walk down and back, that's one thing, right? You park over here, you walk past, you go see everything, and you walk back to your car, right? This was the third time.
Right.
So that told me very, very keenly that this young lady had something to say.
She had a story to share. Absolutely. And her story was great.
Oh, it's amazing.
But that's not the best part. To me, the best part was when it was all over said and done and you interviewed her, you talked to her. When you got through, and I think maybe had got up and started to walk away.
She didn't interview on the.
Oh, that's right. She did
We
it
were
just
only
telling you.
talking.
That's
She
right.
said, "I don't want to be
That's
recorded,
right.
but I'll tell you my story."
Which adds a little bit to it from the sense of we always in the back of our mind have a question: why are you doing this? Is there what's your reason? Hers became exceptionally
Crystal
clear
Yeah.
because when she had shared her story with you, at that point, this lady went,
Yeah.
breathed this huge sigh of relief almost. And it was like a weight had been lifted from her shoulders.
A
And then
60-year
she
weight.
said to you, tell them what she said.
She
to
said, I haven't told anyone that story in 60 years. I've carried that by
for
myself.
60 years by herself. That she was just wanting, looking, hoping for a safe place to be able to share that story. And you're absolutely right. That's why we go there, because that's what it is. So
Yeah.
for so many people, they feel safe finally to share a story that they wouldn't. They're afraid their friends would laugh at them, make fun of them. But they're finally
call them
with
the quack behind their
Yeah.
head, whatever.
they're finally with a group of like-minded people, and so many people are willing to share their stories. And you're absolutely right. That's why we go there. We don't sell a single thing. We set up with a table, couple of chairs, and a microphone, and ask people, share your story. We'd like to help you share it. We'll let you.
We'll share it with the world.
Yeah, you can be anonymous if you wish. You can use it. Tell us what to call you.
Yeah.
We're not asking for your name, your address, your social security number. We'd like to help you get your story out.
Yeah.
We've heard so many amazing stories in the years that we've been doing.
let me
this.
tell you this lady's story. We got
Sure.
plenty of time. So I just want to share this story with this young lady again. And I say young, she was what, Jerry? At least 75.
Oh yeah, at least.
At least 75, probably lower 80s, if I had to guess. And her whole story was she had just gotten her license. She was probably 18 or 19, she said. And she was driving at night for the very first time since she got her license alone. And she told us the road number, and I don't remember it. I'm not from Ohio, and it happened in central Ohio. And she comes over this hill, and at the base of the hill was a craft parked on the road in the shape of a triangle with these huge bright lights under it. And she stopped at the top of the hill. And she got out, and she was looking, and she thought, I better turn off my car. And when she got in to turn off her car, the craft zoomed right up to her car, like eye level. And it killed her car, hit it with light, and it just killed the car. And she just stood there looking at this thing while this light it was so bright, she said. It was like looking at the sun. And then all of a sudden, poof, straight up it went and was gone in seconds.
Yeah.
No sound, no air, just gone. And she said, I just got back in the car, I started it, and I just trembled for like 30 minutes before I could even drive. And she went home, and that was her story. There was nothing, ooh, I got abducted, or ooh, nothing exaggerated about it.
Yep.
It just was. And that's when she did the, and you could just see,
The
just see it, relief
Yeah.
rolling off of her. She had carried that for so long.
Yeah.
And even though she said, I'm not going to record that's not anything I'm interested in. You're welcome to share my story if you like. That was one of my favorite stories of all of the stories
Because
we've covered.
it all adds up, you know?
Yeah.
It's all of it put together. It's the fact that she wasn't looking for 5 minutes of fame. She wouldn't even agree to be recorded.
Right.
It was a big part of it was the aftermath, the sigh of relief.
Yeah.
Being able to look at her and see.
You could just see it lift off of her.
Yes.
If you could
absolutely.
visualize what that looks like on a person, that's what it looked like.
100%.
Yeah.
Did I steal one of yours?
Yeah,
That's
you
probably
sure
one of yours,
did. But
too.
that's okay.
That's number one. It's not one I did. I'll give you one of mine, and then we'll let you go back to your other one. You said you had two, right?
Yeah.
Do you remember at the same Hockin Hills Festival, the first one, Anne Marie and her husband, they were from Indiana.
Yeah. Yeah. Love
Just
those
this
folks.
couple
Those were awesome.
loved both of them. Just really nice, down to earth guys. Sent us a ton of pictures later showing some of the footprints, some of the areas. They had a small farm, if I remember correct. He was living when they got married, his father had given them 30, 40 acres of his farm, and they still lived at the place that he was born and raised on. And they had a couple of episodes, happenings, whatever you want to call it, encounters with something that they wanted to tell us about. And yeah, extremely interesting stories. You could tell from talking to these people that they weren't, as you said, they weren't sensationalizing anything. They
Right.
weren't making things up. They backed each other up. And again, it wasn't that they wanted fame. They didn't. They were just saying, "Hey, here's my story. Here's what happened. You tell us what you think it possibly could have been." Love those stories.
Yeah.
That's why we go to the events. Also, I would like to mention that again, it's a cryptid convention. The story I just told was cryptid related. The first story that you just told was UFO related. So
Yeah.
we're going to take any of those mysterious, macabre out of this world. We don't care if it's ghost related, alien related, cryptid related. But yeah, we've had so many great stories of all types. You again, what was your other favorite one that I didn't steal?
Definitely. Well, it was one of the third type. It was a ghost
There
story.
you go.
And I tell this one at every festival because it was.
I know what you're going to tell.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's simple. It's
Yep.
not again.
I love
it's-
this one too.
It's not sensationalized. It just is.
Yep.
And those are the ones that just make my skin crawl because
And the
It-
ones we'll never forget,
right.
ever.
The guy comes up, he says, "I don't have a story, but I'll tell you one that my grandfather told us." And I was like, "Okay, and when you get those, if it's secondhand, it's hearsay in the court of law, but whatever." Listened to it and was just blown away. But so this man's grandfather, and we'll say his friend Don, owned a lumber mill,
Right.
and the lumber mill was on the far left. Don's house was in the middle, and Grandpa's house was on the far right. And they worked opposite shifts so they could keep the mill running longer. And Grandpa was getting off, Don was coming on. Grandpa was walking home, Don was working to the mill. Grandpa says, "Hey, Don, I just sharpened the blade. Everything's running good. You're good to go." And Don didn't say anything, had a scowl
Kinda
on his
grunted.
face, just mad as hell, looking like going to work. And Grandpa thought that was a little weird, so he stopped at Don's house, knocked on the door. Don's wife answered, and he said, "Hey, I just passed Don on the way to work. He didn't look like he was happy. I just want to make sure everything's okay." And his wife said, "Oh, honey, Don's not on his way to work. He just went to bed. He's sick." And they went back, and Don had passed away. He was still warm to the touch, but he was definitely gone. And those stories.
Yeah.
First of all, what do you always say, Jerry? Go ahead.
I always say I completely understand why he's pissed off and didn't give his usual hi, how you doing? He was pissed off. So would I. If I'm dead and I still got to go to work, I am pissed to no end.
Yeah, but those are the kind of ghost stories that just
Yeah.
creep me out. And we've had so many. I bet we've interviewed a 1,000 people by
Probably.
now. Don't you think?
Probably.
I remember the one guy that we interviewed that was from Florida. He was, he didn't want to be recorded. He was another one that wanted to share but didn't want to go on the air. And if you remember that guy, he was so sun wrinkled. He spent his entire life, had the long
Yep.
hair. You know what I'm talking
Yep, I
about? And he was so he just looked like he stayed on the hull of his boat all the time.
Yeah.
And him and a buddy was fishing out in Lake Okeechobee, I believe it was. And they everything was normal. Crickets were chirping, and the frogs were doing what frogs do, and it was loud, and they were fishing and having a good time, and everything got completely silent. And they looked at each other like, because that's what happens typically, like before a big barometric pressure, like if a
Right.
tornado's coming or
Sure.
something. And they looked at each other, started looking around the sky to make sure there wasn't a storm coming. And they both saw it at the same time. And it was this 3 football long, cigar shaped, silver cylindrical thing that just was hovering slowly and right beside them, silent. And they said it was huge. And then when they saw it, they got about 3 seconds to look at it, and it turned and went and was gone instantly. Those are the ones that I just like. You know,
Absolutely.
first of all, it has all the things. It has a realism about it that people who have issues or have trauma remember the details. Everything got quiet. That's a detail. You know, they're
Sure.
fishing and everything just stops. You remember that.
Yeah.
It wasn't a big thing. It didn't have, you know, there weren't aliens waving or flipping them off or anything. It wasn't there was no hyperbole to it. It was just, oh, there it was, and then it was gone. You know, those are the things that it's like, hey, how do you explain that? We don't have any, you know, you see a big long cylindrical thing that's hovering quietly. Oh, that might be a blimp until it's gone instantly.
Right. Exactly.
You know what I mean? So,
Sure.
you know, it's those things that I really liked. I love talking to people at these
Sure.
these festivals.
Do you remember the ex-police officer from Lexington, Kentucky
Yeah.
that I interviewed? I loved his story. His story was, I think his name was Larry. I'm not for sure. Anyway, they had
Mike.
Mike. You're right. It was Mike,
Gosh, why do I remember
ex-police
these
officer
things?
from Lexington, Kentucky, who now lives in Ohio.
Mhm.
And they were just taking a hike. They were out walking, saw several interesting things, took some pictures, had a pretty nice 35 millimeter camera, took some pictures, got home, didn't see anything untoward they didn't think. A month or two later, decided, hey, we got this film, we should probably get it developed. And if I remember correctly, didn't have the pictures with him, but sent them to us later. And his point was later, after he got the pictures developed, he was looking at one that they had taken of a cave. They had passed this cave, thought it was kind of cool, snapped a few pictures, and he's like, I'm not telling you what it is. You tell me what you think. And when you look carefully at the cave in the dark, there's a shadow that looks to be a hairy something that's got his elbow on a rock, and he's just staring back at them, just like, wonder what those people are up to.
Right?
That's what it appears to
Wonder
be.
what his cologne is.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. Could it be a shadow from some rocks or yes? Is it proof of anything? No.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, that's what it looks like. If you go, everything that we're talking about, we've covered these on episodes. If
Sure.
you want to hear the people talking about them, if you want to hear the episode for
That's
the
what
ones that,
Encounters is all about.
yes, listen to or go back and search, and you can find these. And in this particular case, we actually attached the pictures that Mike sent us. You can see the pictures of what he looked at. And again, Mike wasn't one that was saying, hey, I saw Bigfoot. He was saying, I saw something. You tell me what it is. Here's the picture. That's the ones I like, not the ones, you know, at the same time, we have all kinds.
Yeah.
I interviewed a young gentleman, I'm not going to call his name, at Red River Gorge. I don't think we ended up putting it on the air. But this gentleman come up to us, saw what we were doing, asked what we're looking for. And I'm like, well, we do the mysterious, the macabre, the out of this world. Well, I've got stories for all of those. And this guy's like 20 years old. And he's got he's got 3 or 4 stories in every genre. He's done everything, experienced everything. And real quickly, it was obvious to me that he was just looking for 5 minutes of fame. And it comes across really quick. Anything you want, oh, I've got that.
Yeah.
Anything. I love the mics of the world that says, guys, I don't know what I saw. Here's a picture. You tell me. Or someone like the old lady who shared her story, didn't want to be on tape. Those are the ones that you're like, they have no reason to be lying. They have no reason. And with her, you could actually see it from her reaction. Yeah, in case you can't tell, we absolutely love going to these events and hearing people share
You
their
know what else
stories.
we love?
What's that?
Edlock.
Yes, we do.
Tax season is here, and that refund check feels like a fresh start.
Exactly. But instead of splurging, imagine using it to pay down debt or even as a down payment on a new home.
That's what we did. We called Ed Locke at USA Mortgage, and he showed us how our refund could open doors we didn't think were even possible.
Ed explained the options clearly, whether it's reducing what you owe or building towards home ownership. He makes the numbers work for you.
Hi, I'm Ed Locke with USA Mortgage. Your tax refund can be more than extra cash. It can be the key to financial freedom or your next home. Let's talk about the best path for you. Call me today at 502-680-0953.
Yeah, Ed's a good dude. I hope that if you ever need a home loan, you give Ed a call first because he's awesome. Then you want to call me, and I'll get you squared away with a great realtor.
You know, we mentioned that we've got the Hocking Hills Bigfoot Festival coming up soon, August 14th, 15th. We were talking right before the show. I love that the Hocking Hills Festival is free. The event is free. There's, I think, a $10 per car parking charge. Admission to the event is free. Admission for all the speaker events is free. And they have a ton of, guys, if you're into cryptids at all, this is one of, if not the biggest cryptid convention in the United States. They have a ton of speakers from all over the country there. They have several events. They have the Bigfoot beard competition, the Squatch and Seek competition, the Bigfoot howling competition. It's an absolute blast. If you are looking for something to do, you're anywhere in the area, I guarantee you're going to have a ton of fun at the Bigfoot Hocking Hills Festival in MacArthur Fairgrounds. I believe is where it's at this year, correct?
Yes.
And which is just south of Logan, Ohio. And yeah, again, August 14th and 15th, we'll be there for the third year in a row.
And, you know, the one thing that I was thinking about, and what do you think, Jerry? This is just kind of inside the weeds or inside baseball. At some point, do we start migrating and changing festivals, or do we want to continue to... I like supporting the festivals that supported us in the beginning.
Yeah, I agree.
Quite frankly.
There's a couple that we have that are favorites. Red River Gorge and Hocking Hills Festival, I think, are probably our two favorites. We've done several others here and there that... so we already have changed a little bit. Will we continue to stay with those? I don't know. Maybe if our stories drop. Again, that's why we go, is to get the stories.
We go to talk to you.
Yep, absolutely.
As long as you guys keep talking to us, we're going to keep going.
Absolutely. And that, to me, that's the barometer that I'll use to judge that question by.
Yeah.
Is, are we still getting good stories? Are we getting people to come up and talk to us? And at those two in particular, at the Red River Gorge and the Hocking Hills Bigfoot Festival, I don't think we've even begun to scratch the amount of potential material.
One of my favorite stories from Red River Gorge, from Hocking Hills, was from Austin Two Feathers. Obviously he was a native, but he owned a small patch of land there in Hocking Hills, and he claimed to have relationships with these Bigfoot that would come into his yard about every other day. Wow. And it wasn't just him saying it. He actually, in our interview, said if anyone wants to come and see them, you know, as far as researchers, they're welcome to do so. So it was an open invitation to them. So it wasn't just I got this, but you can't see it. Yeah. Because we've had some of those. We had a young lady in Tennessee, I believe, that she had claimed that there was a whole family living on her farm, and that they would come up in her yard all the time and steal apples. And do you remember that one? But she didn't want to tell anybody where it was. She was afraid. And I get it. If that is a legit thing, there is a chance that somebody's going to come on there with ill will. And I get that. But the one thing I liked about Austin was he was like, hey, any of you people that are trying to see it or find it, come to my place. I'll show it to you. So I thought that was a neat story.
We have heard so many cool, interesting stories over the years.
Again, we've probably each interviewed 1,000 people. Probably you a little more than me, because I usually end up getting the people to talk more, and you end up interviewing more people, and that's okay. I mean, it's kind of what we've settled into. But so you've probably interviewed a few more than I have. But
A lot of people between the two of us, I know.
yeah,
A lot of cool stories. And again, that's why we do it.
Yeah.
We're not selling a single thing. We have some sponsors that certainly help lay a lot of the cost. We are still paying money out of our pocket to go to each and every event. We're doing it because we love to hear the stories that people share with us.
yeah, and it gives us. I mean, what is our benefit? What makes it worth it to us to do those things? We get content for encounters. That's let's just be completely honest and transparent there. We get your stories to share with the world as a show. So, because what happens when you do an encounters episode with us? What happens when you sit down and you let us record it? It's going to go on air, uncut, unedited, exactly how you say it.
Yep.
Period.
And again,
Because I
that's
think
only
it's
if
the
people
best-
agree.
Yeah.
We're not tricking anyone.
No,
we tell them.
no.
And again, as you said, there's several people that says, "Hey, I'll share my story, but I don't want it recorded."
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
We will do what you just did, and you've been telling them one story for years.
Yeah.
So yeah,
And will probably for a lot more
absolutely.
years.
Absolutely, her story is just too good to not share. Yeah, we love doing it. We'd love to hear from you guys. If you got a story, come and see us. If you just like to say hi, stop by. We often give out swag at these events
Oh
for
yeah,
people
that's
that
the one
just
thing
stop
we
by.
do. If you stop by our booth, you're going to get some swag if you
Yeah.
want it, either from us or from Ed Locke, one of our. I can't say enough about his sponsorship and USA Mortgage partnership with this program and what they've allowed us to do
Oh,
over the
absolutely.
years. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, we'd probably still be doing a podcast. We wouldn't be going to near as many events. We wouldn't have nearly as good a studio if it were not for Ed Locke. He's paid for a lot of this.
Wouldn't have nearly the ability to reach the world like we do.
Absolutely.
You know, we have often, back in the day, we would say we've been in all 50 states and 82. That number is swollen at this point. I don't know that there's a country in the world we haven't had at least one listener
Major
from.
country, yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We've had in those very recent months huge swells from Middle East Asia, from the European bloc countries, the former USSR countries.
Which we still don't understand.
You know, Slovakia is still one of our
is.
best performing
And has been for
countries.
years.
Has been for years. You know, that is very humbling to
It
me.
is.
Just for a couple old boys from Kentucky who cover, you know, just give our take on what we talk about. You know, there's a million different takes out there, but
Sure.
for people to tune in, it's very humbling and very appreciated.
That it
Um,
is.
But
Remember when we used to talk numbers, and we weren't doing it just to brag on ourselves.
No.
We were doing it because
we were blown away.
absolutely. When we had 100 downloads, we're like, "Are you kidding me? We never thought this would ever happen." 1,000, no way. Only the big time people do that. 10,000,
Right?
and we've, now it's been years, I think, since we've even talked numbers because it's just become old hat. But we are still absolutely blown away when we look at these numbers.
For several weeks, we were on Apple's top 5 or top 10
within
which-
our genre, yes.
within our genre. What?
Are you kidding me?
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
How awesome is our fan base for that?
100%.
I remember, I do miss that rating system. I know it's been gone for a long time though, but it covered you on every platform, and that was real numbers, I thought, and I really liked that.
What rating system are you talking about?
The one that Spotify eventually bought and
Oh,
absorbed.
okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was very, very, very good analytics for
I
us. Anywho, man, so Hocking Hills coming up in a matter of a month. I'm excited.
Yes.
After that, let's just talk a little bit, Jerry, about what we have coming up for the rest of this year.
Sure.
So we have Hocking Hills Bigfoot Festival upcoming. We have at least 2 field trips upcoming. One of them is to a famous fort that may be haunted. Ooh. We are also going back to a place we touched on in a previous field trip to do a whole evening that a place that is certainly haunted. Can't wait for that.
Yep.
I'm not going to give any of this away. You're going to have to tune in and see how that's called a tease, Jerry.
We are good at that, aren't we?
Well, I mean, look at you. Anywho, some of the shows, I just wanted to pull it up because we don't do these shows very often. You know, we just have so much going on. Some of the topics we're going to cover over the course of the rest of the year. I'm going to give you a preview. Do you want to hear a preview?
Absolutely.
We're going to cover, let's just show you how gritty we can get. One of the topics coming up is if vaccines are part of a conspiracy. How about that?
I love that topic.
Yeah, I'm sure you would.
Why?
Well, because Brett will be here for that one. He's showing
We
up.
hope.
One of the things we're going to cover coming up in the future is a shout out to Slovakia. We're going to cover the Slovakian cryptids. So excited for that. We hope to have one of our regular guests, Clay Davis, in to talk about a secret organization that is secretly controlling the world.
I miss Clay. Such a good guest. Back when we were first starting, he did so many episodes with us.
His work
became
became a
crazy and all that, and his schedule. I think he loves to be on. We certainly love to have Clay on, and he pretty much has an open invitation if he has something that comes up. But
He's
we do
got a
have
lot.
him coming up
Yeah.
shortly in a couple of months.
He is also, in addition to his work, he is big in We See You Watching Lexington.
Yep.
He's big in action. He's good at doing what we all should do, which is being an activist for the little man. Just
Yep.
saying.
And call it not just looking, actually doing something about it.
Yeah,
he and
exactly.
the groups that he is with, they don't just get on and make a couple of Facebook posts. They actively fight.
Yes.
Their big thing is the surveillance.
Flock.
Flock
Right
cameras.
now, yes.
And they actually do a lot about it.
We're
One
going to
thing-
talk about whether Bob Lazar was actually a CIA plant. What? And probably the biggest topic that we have a couple of great guests, hopefully, that are going to commit. They're still pending. That's why they're at the end of the year. We're trying to make it work. Big guests that you will know as soon as we say their names, but we have at least touched with them a little bit, and we know that they're trying to work their schedule out to be on the show. So, not going to let those names go because I don't want to be disappointing or disappoint you if it doesn't happen.
That's going to be some really fun, interesting topics.
Yeah. You know what the biggest one is? Probably that you're just going to hate.
I'm going to love it.
You're going to
Go ahead
hate
and
it.
say it.
We're going to get into the nitty gritty about COVID-19
Yep.
as a conspiracy. Brett will be here for that one too.
I will absolutely love it.
And then we'll have our big, we've decided, last year was a great thing for us. It really helped us, I think, taking a couple of weeks off at Christmas to be with family and to just reset and reboot. Believe it or not, even though you only do a show once a week, there is a lot that goes into these
There
shows.
is a lot of
And
research. and-
it's a lot of research. It's a lot of effort. It's a lot of, there's a lot to it.
and to make sure that we don't get burnt out and we
Yes.
can continue to come at it with the enthusiasm that it needs and deserves.
Yeah.
I think that, we've been doing it a little over 4 years, and that 2-week break was a fantastic idea.
Yeah.
And we do plan on continuing that.
Yeah, at the end of the year, every year, we're just going to do that. So, but those are just a little bit of the upcoming things. And here's the thing, guys. Here's the truth about every episode we do. If you are listening right now and are like, well, you didn't talk about whatever, pick your poison. You didn't talk about Skinwalker Ranch. I really wanted an episode about Skinwalker Ranch. All you have to do to get that episode on our airwaves is what, Jerry?
Reach out to us, newsworthy with stephenjerry.com. Hit the contact button. I will clarify that a little bit. We try to cover as many. We have had a lot of requests. We can't get to every one of them. If we have multiple requests, we absolutely will.
Yeah.
The point is, we try to give the listening audience what they want. So by all means, as Steve was saying, if there's something that you want to hear us talking about and we haven't,
Chances are
reach out.
somebody else has
Very-
already
very,
requested.
yes, very good chance that we will. Can't guarantee it, but we'll
Your
make every
vote
effort
could be
to
the
do it.
one that makes it happen.
Absolutely.
Because we like it. We love being able to talk about the things that no one else is talking about. To be blunt, the smaller and the more we have to research and dig in and tear it apart and peel the layers back, those are the ones we really like getting into.
Absolutely.
Everybody's covered the Patterson Gimlin film, including us.
Yep.
But it's been covered every way from Sunday. So if you've got another take on that you want us to cover, hey, that's where we like to
That's
shine.
a good point. It doesn't have to be a new
Yeah.
topic. It can be simply a different take, a different way to approach it.
Right.
Absolutely.
If you
Good
heard
point.
a show that we've already done, say the Phoenix Lights, and we covered it in this way, but you thought about this perspective, we'd love to hear about that too, because we're always above. We're not above doing a show a different way about the same topic.
Do you remember
because
that
That's a
the
great
week
way of
we
thinking
did
of stuff.
the Phoenix Lights? That was a trifecta.
Mm-hmm.
Each of us took one, and that was I think I did. What was the name of it? Forest in England.
The Recum.
Started with an R. Forget
Yeah.
it. But that was I love that show.
Yeah, it was a
I
good
forget.
show.
Brett, I think, did the Phoenix Lights. What
Yeah.
did you cover that show?
Hopkinsville Goblins.
Did you really?
Yeah.
That was the first
That was the
entry.
first time
Because
we did
later we
those.
did that
Yep.
in a whole
We
episode.
did that as
on
a
it.
whole show. Yep.
That was a great show.
Yeah.
I love that. We
Of
should
course,
do more
I
of
was
those.
on it.
Absolutely. But yeah, we love to hear from our listening audience. Let us know what you'd like to hear, and we'll very good chance
Also-
we'll do it.
Just so you know, we'd also like to hear your opinion and your feedback. Very recently, we stopped doing like dad jokes and a bunch of banter. If you like the dad jokes, or you like the recipes, or you prefer a particular genre for the bonus stories, we want to hear all that stuff.
Sure.
We
We
get
might
better on your
reintroduce a little bit.
feedback.
We'd gotten too crazy.
Yeah.
We had, at one point, we realized that we were starting an episode. We'd give you a teaser of what we're going to cover. We would start an episode and spend 10 minutes talking about how our week was, spend 5 minutes on dad jokes, talk about some recipes. We were 30, 40 minutes into a show, and we'd given you a teaser on the Phoenix Lights.
Yeah.
We hadn't even mentioned after the
Right.
teaser the
So
Phoenix Lights.
I think I like the way we do things now, but it doesn't mean we can't incorporate stuff in a
Sure.
little differently.
As
And
long-
we're always looking to improve.
We have always known that we had a problem once we got into the weeds of getting back on topic.
Right.
We bought this little timer, the sand timer,
Yeah.
and we swore, what is it, like
2
5
minutes.
minutes? 2 minutes?
2 minutes.
And
No,
we
3
swore-
minutes. I'm sorry.
We swore that what we were going to do at the beginning of every episode was flip it. And when it was empty, we would have to get off the meandering
Yep.
crap and get on to the topic. And we ignored that. We would still be 20, 30, 40 minutes.
Well, it's usually because Brett and I were talking about something very important,
Sure.
and you were talking about a bunch of nonsense, and we just couldn't get you directed back into the right world.
Yeah. Says the guy who, yeah, never mind. We'll save that for future. I think for the people who listen to us and you talking about some of the topics coming up, they already know where you and I both will fall on things like COVID vaccine. What was the other one that we're going to be covering up? Is it a conspiracy theory or
The
actual
vaccines
facts?
and autism, basically, and our vaccines.
Oh, that's right.
safe?
Vaccines, period, and then COVID-19
Yeah.
separately. Yeah. I think most people know where you and I will be falling on that.
Yeah. I will fall on the correct and the right
That's
side
right.
of the world, and you
I
will
will-
fall on the other side.
The facts and the logic,
The falsehoods and all that.
complete facts.
No.
I can back up everything that I'm going to say. Will you be able to do the same?
Absolutely.
No,
Absolutely.
absolutely not.
Well, guys, we absolutely appreciate you being here tonight.
Yes, we do.
Ad lib episode again, but join us. Please join us August 14th and 15th in the Ventnor County Fairgrounds.
MacArthur.
in
Oh, you're right.
MacArthur-
Benton County. You're
Benton
right, I'm
County
sorry.
Fairgrounds at MacArthur, Ohio,
Yep.
for the at least largest Bigfoot festival east of the Mississippi.
Yep.
The Hocking Hills Bigfoot Fest. We're excited to be there. This is year number 3. They put on a great show. There's a million great vendors up there.
There is.
Great speakers. It's a good deal. It's a great deal. It's free. It's a $10 parking charge, but you can do everything there for free. It's amazing.
Yep.
So be sure to join us for that. Jerry, any last words?
We'd love to see you. If you're not going to be able to be there, then by all means, drop us a line, as we were saying earlier. Let us know what you would like us to cover.
Don't go anywhere. We have a great bonus story coming up right after these short ads. And while you're waiting, swing by Newsworthy with StephenJerry.com for updates, past episodes, and all the weird stuff that Jerry's into.
Before those ads roll, make sure you like, follow, and share the show, especially with your weirdest friend. You know who I'm talking about. And hey, if you're thinking about buying a home, refinancing, or just want straight answers, talk to Ed Locke at USA Mortgage. Local, trusted, and ready to walk you through every step. Call 502-680-0953.
And of course, we recommend Smoking Gun Jerky out of Lincoln, Nebraska. Use code CRYPTID10 for an amazing discount on some of the best jerky you will ever taste.
We are taking Kentucky After Dark all the way to Louisville, Kentucky today to talk about the Waverly Hills Sanatorium, an abandoned tuberculosis hospital that opened in 1910, consistently named one of the most haunted places in the country. They offer tours ranging from historical to overnight investigations of the old ward, and even the body shoot. Yikes! During the Halloween season, it turns into one big haunted house. Other spooky activities include famous Seabach Hotel, Phantoms of the Prohibition, walking tour, the Conrad Conwell House, the Belle of Louisville, and Old Louisville itself, dubbed America's most haunted neighborhood. But wait, don't forget the legend of Pope Lick Monster, Louisville's part man, part goat creature, residing near the edge of the parklands of Floyd's Fork. Louisville offers plenty of horrid and haunted experiences for those not of light heart. Human trafficking happens in every community in the world. If you see something, say something.
Call the National Human Trafficking Hotline at 1-888-373-7888.
And Jerry, if you can't see the light,
Be the light.